Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy May the 4th, otherwise known as Star Wars Day. We are here. As you know, my name is Mark Daniel, host of the main stage at Star Wars Celebration. And with me is my right-hand man. Introduce yourself.
Hey, it's me, DJElliot, the nerdtastic DJ for the main stage as well, holding it down with the show before the show, Mr. Mark Daniel. We're both here, both in lovely Orlando, Florida, home to 3 celebrations. And we're going to share with you some of our favorite moments from our combined. Can you believe we've been doing this for 10 years now, Mark?
10 years, Elliot. We are OGs in the Star Wars fandom universe of doing the show before the show.
All right. Well, it all started for us at Celebration 5 in Orlando, Florida. Believe it or not, Mark and I, prior to Celebration 5, had never met each other, never heard of each other. I didn't know what a warm-up guy was, and he didn't really know what a DJ was. But
I didn't know what a DJElliot was. I know what a DJ was, but I didn't know what a DJElliot was. I thought it was like an ET thing or something. I was like, DJElliot, okay. And Mark Renfro directed that and put us together. And then I got to meet you. I got to hear your music and everything. I knew of you, but we had never worked together.
No. So that was August of 2010 in the Orange County Convention Center in beautiful Orlando, Florida, where we met the first time. And the host for the main stage was our good friend
Jay Lagaya.
Jay Lagaya.
He was in the prequels.
That's right.
Captain Typho.
Yes, a very talented ukulele and guitar player.
Yes.
He shared with us his talents. One of my favorite stories from Celebration 5 actually involved Jay Lagaya. Carrie Fisher was supposed to do a panel for that weekend, but her mom was ill, and so she needed to rush home. So Jay was kind of bummed that he wasn't going to get the opportunity to interview her, and she felt bad at the last minute and was going to come on stage and talk to everybody very quickly. And Jay was like, "Man, I don't know what to do." And I said, "Well, just get her out there on stage and keep asking her questions and see how long you can keep her out there." And he kept her out there for about 30 minutes. So good job, Jay.
A little half a panel thanks to you, Elliot, and Jay Lagaya, and Carrie Fisher.
So we wrapped up Celebration 5. We thought we did an okay job. We didn't know if we'd be back. And sure enough, they rolled Celebration through Orlando one more time in August of 2012, and they asked us to come back. So back to the Orange County Convention Center, that really long drive for both of us, we went, and we rang.
No hotel.
No hotel, still staying at our houses.
Yeah.
We rolled in for Celebration 6, rocking and rolling. So now, Mark, you met someone for the very first time who made his first Celebration appearance. Why don't you share that?
Yeah, you know what? We come back, and the host now is James Arnold Taylor.
Yep.
And they bring us back. So we did a good job, Elliot. Yeah, high five. Can we do a high five? Can we? There it is. All right. So did a great job. And Ian McDermott is there for the first time. So it's like a panel with the Emperor. And I had people outside, doing Emperor voice, sound alikes and everything like that. And it was his first time in America doing Star Wars Celebration. And we're in a hallway, and we had to go on stage. And I was really freaked out because Ian McDermott looks exactly like the Emperor. No makeup, anything. I see him, and I'm like, oh, man, he looks just like the Emperor. And he's probably nervous. He's in his head. He's not smiling or anything. He's just standing in the hallway. So I had to go past him. So Elliot's like, Mark, it's right down this way. And I said, Elliot, I feel weird walking past him. He's like, Mark, just walk past him. Just don't say anything. Just go past him. Just say, excuse me. I said, Elliot, I'm really afraid of walking past the Emperor. And he's like, Mark, it's just Ian McDermott. And just walk past him. And I said, look, man, he looks exactly like the Emperor. He's standing there. He's not smiling. And I told him, I said, Elliot, I'm afraid to walk past him because the last black dude that walked past the Emperor got thrown out a window.
Good news is there's no windows at the convention center.
No windows at all. But he turned out to be a really fun guy. I mean, I didn't think he wasn't, but he was a lot of fun. And it was a great interview from what I remember.
So at the end of Celebration Orlando, they announced that they're taking Celebration across the pond to Essen, Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark and I, we weren't sure we were going to get to go, but at the last minute, thanks to Mary Franklin, she made sure that we made it all the way to join all the fans in Germany. And it was quite exciting because not only was it my birthday during Star Wars Celebration, but Disney had just acquired Lucasfilm. So everything was a little weird, but it ended up being a fantastic celebration because that's where Kathleen Kennedy met some fabulous folks that helped build props and droids for the new films that we've all finished watching.
And speaking of droids, DJ Elliot, I got to shout you out. You actually, this is the first time we worked with Warwick Davis. He was the host for the main stage.
Yes.
And you had an extra job. You weren't only the DJ. You were something else.
I was also the voice of the R2 unit that talked. That's right. I forgot his name, but it was CE2 was the last because it's Celebration Europe 2. I don't remember what the two first logos were. But he had a very similar voice to the talking trash can that was at Walt Disney World, which is one of the other jobs I used to do at the time. So, I got to play with I got to improv with Warwick Davis for a little bit. So I guess I can add that to my resume.
Which is also my dream, which I got to do as well. Because Warwick Davis is just truly a very genuinely nice person. His whole family's amazing. And he's a very, very funny man. Very funny. Also, too, we celebrated, like you said, your birthday.
Yes.
And, yes. And I
would have you got me a present, and I had hoped that you had just smuggled it in your suitcase, but no, in front of the packed auditorium.
Yes.
What did you do, Mark?
I gave Elliot, I surprised Elliot and myself by giving Elliot a big, giant, wet kiss.
That's right.
On his cheek for his birthday.
So that wrapped up all of our fun in Germany, and it was announced that in 2 years we'd be celebrating in Anaheim, California, and it would be a crazy celebration because we would be getting ready for 2 brand new Star Wars movies that were coming out, Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and of course, Rogue One, and that all happened in an arena. So we went from a small theater to a large kind of hall, and now we were rocking in an arena. And how was that, Mark?
Well, that was impressive. And, I got to tell you, being and interacting with that many Star Wars fans was mind-blowing. So, throughout all this, Ellie, and as we know, one of our favorite memories are always the stories of meeting the fans, telling us what Star Wars means to them. So that's a through line throughout this whole thing we have so many stories to tell about that. But right now we're just touching on the big things. And again, being in that room and seeing the trailer for Force Awakens. And then not only that, you jump to the end, and the end we got to see a teaser for Rogue One. I mean, we got 2. Like, this is historic, right? Because we got 2 new Star Wars things coming out, right? A trailer for, Force Awakens and a teaser for Rogue One. That was amazing to be a part of with the fans.
We also rocked my favorite moment from that celebration. We had a fan mixer in the breezeway between the 2 hotels. By far, one of my top favorite DJ moments of all time. You were there, but we also met someone special there.
We did. And he gave us a challenge coin. And Elliot holding it up right now. And this is Elliot. This is the first time, I saw you. This is the first time I saw Elliot working. I've seen you work. No, let me. I've seen you work. But I saw this was Elliot in his element. And I'm walking through, and because I met you later on because you started the party. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the first time we started kind of doing, outside of Star Wars, the fan events together. So I was late, and I was getting there, and the crowd was just hype, man. It was like the energy was unbelievable. And I felt so proud, walking through the crowd. And then, I know DJ Elliot. That's right. Excuse me. And I went and stood on stage. But going back to what you said, we met a fan, and he told us he was a wounded veteran. And he told Elliot, he said, he gave us both challenge coins. And he said, Elliot, I want to thank you because I'm constantly in pain. And when I'm not in pain is only when I'm dancing. And he said, your music has me dancing all night. So I have no pain right now. And that sat with me for a long time. And I still remember it. And it's just a great moment. And that's all he said. Then he just went back into the crowd dancing. So again, we're talking about these moments with fans and their stories, man, and it just like really resonates with me. Like, you never know what Star Wars does for people, or just the nice things you do for people, how that can make somebody feel, how can they forget about their worries for a second. So hats off to you, Elliot.
Then we head back across the ocean again, this time to London, where they'd been doing a lot of filming. In fact, even just a couple station stops away, we headed to the Excel in London for Celebration in Europe, the third one, London. I don't even remember what they called it, but we did quite the after party with some friends of ours. Martin Keeler and his group pulled off the hashtag Cantina Bash, and Mark and I got to play the O2 Arena.
What? Oh man, that was massive. Hosted by David Collins. I mean, there were so many performers. It was
the band Ash played, and I only say that because Martin reminds me that he knows Ash every time we talk.
Constantly. Yeah.
We worked with Warwick Davis again on the stage. Had some fantastic moments. It was a fun time in London.
And we had the 501st Bash at Madame Tussauds.
That's right, with the creepiest dark ride ever to be in the museum.
We went through the burning of London, I believe, right?
It was definitely interesting.
Yeah, but that's the only way you can get to the party.
Yes.
But when you got in there, it was Madame Tussauds all decked out. It was a lot of fun. And that is the first time.
We made some friends with our old Dutch Garrison buddies there.
That's right. We are official friends of the Legion, Dutch Garrison, and they were fantastic. They were the party animals, and it's the time when I coined the Dutch Garrison, the party garrison. And then after that,
we headed back to Orlando.
And this time, we were smart.
We had hotel rooms.
Elliot and I put our heads together, and we said, we need hotel rooms. The traffic on I-4 will be late. So we got hotel rooms. And this was a big one. This is the 40th anniversary.
That's right. That was an epic panel. That was one where, we all knew something was going to happen, but we didn't know what it was going to be, including all of the celebrities backstage, because when John Williams took the podium, even the celebrities came out from back behind the stage. I remember Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill just kind of freaking out, like, is he really here? And they both walked around the corner to watch that performance, and it was just absolutely, absolutely amazing. So glad that we got to be a part of that. So we wrapped up in Orlando, and then, of course, the last celebration we were all at prior to this next one that will happen in the future. We were in Chicago.
It was cold.
And it was snowing.
Did I mention it was cold? It went through all seasons, DJ Elliot. All seasons.
That's right.
In those 4 days.
It was. Again, we got to work with Warwick Davis again. We were in another arena, except this time they had you and I run all over the place.
Yeah.
We get to be every time we come back, we get to be a bigger part of the show. We had some additional people join us in Orlando and Chicago as well, as our team keeps growing larger and larger. But my favorite moment from Chicago was the Phantom Menace panel, and I played music from 1999, and that was it. And it was just really cool to go back to that time, when we were all really excited about, new Star Wars movies and just the music that we listened to back then. It was a lot of fun.
And again, talking about you and your element, that's you and your element again. And what I enjoy walking around and watching people when you were playing that music is watching kids that really, they don't really know that music like when it came out, and they were all having a great time. So that was fun to see too, because you have families just enjoying the music. They remember it from when it came out, and the kids just jamming out, learning something new and hearing something new. So that was really unique. And that was a pretty big arena too. And the big thing was no one knew about The Mandalorian. I mean, we know now how awesome it is. And I got to tell you something. When they introduced The Mandalorian, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, but the child was backstage. I was playing with it.
No, you weren't. You were.
I wasn't.
you were freaking out because Carl Weathers was there.
Okay, fans, listen. I know y'all. I'm a Star Wars fan, but you see what's behind me. You know my number one. Elliot knows what my number one is.
Yes.
Number one is the Predator. You know, so I had no idea.
In all of the celebrations that we worked together, I had never seen you geek out over a celebrity before until that moment. And you lost all of your cool.
Oh, man.
It was just all gone. But you went over, you said hello. It was really awesome. We both are very blessed to be able to enjoy these opportunities that we get to share with all the fans. Again, of all of the moments at Celebration that we've had backstage and behind the scenes, there's one thing that I know that both you and I enjoy the most, and that is actually meeting and talking to the fans. I've made some very, very close friends from around the world and around the country. I know you have as well.
Oh, man. Yes. So I want to just piggyback on what Elliot said. It is those moments, and I feel like we are a Star Wars family. So many great memories. Elliot, it's always been a pleasure working with you. Great memories. Love talking to the fans and them sharing their stories. And so it's been fantastic. And I want to say, hey, if you have a memory, tell us in the comments so we can see your memories from Star Wars Celebration. Just mention them in the comments. We're going to read them and just see if we can remember those moments or just celebrate them with you.
Hey, and before you know it, we'll all be hanging out at Star Wars Celebration again. Looking forward to seeing all of the new stuff that's on the horizon. But until then, there's only one possible way we can end this. And you know how to do that, right, Mark?
That's right.
May the fourth
be with you
always. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.